Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So, most of the crazy 2020 offseason moves are done. At least we think they're done. So, now's a good time to look at which teams are ready to take that next step forward in 2020, and which ones are about to take a major step back. In regards to teams who've improved, we're simply looking at clubs who are poised to make that next leap. So while teams like the Cincinnati Bengals and Miami Dolphins definitely improved their roster significantly this offseason, we don't expect them to suddenly jump into the playoff picture.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
So let's get right into it and check out 5 teams that'll improve in 2020 and 5 teams that are sure to decline. Number 5, improved, Las Vegas Raiders. Now, this is an improved team that could make a push for the postseason in 2020. John Gruden's second year as head coach of the Raiders went a little smoother. They were only a few bounces away from finishing with a winning record. Now, there are no excuses. Vegas has to be a winner in 2020, given all the work Gruden and Mike Mayock put in this offseason. The Raiders bolstered an already stout front seven. They added do-it-all athletic linebacker Corey Littleton, defensive tackle Malik Collins, and former Chicago Bears linebacker Nick Kwiatkowski in free agency. And we thought Max Crosby and Cleveland Farrell were already scary enough as a pass rushing duo. On top of that, the Raiders signed veteran cornerback Prince Amukamara to help the secondary, and adding former Tennessee Titans starter Marcus Mariota in free agency was a savvy move to put the pressure on Derek Carr. Vegas added even more weapons for whoever's under center as well, drafting stud wide receiver Henry Ruggs and adding Lynn Bowden and Brian Edwards in free agency. Though we didn't like the Damon Arnett pick, he's at least an upgrade over most other corners Vegas has used in recent years. With a revamped pass rush, secondary, and offensive unit, the Raiders should push for double-digit wins and a wildcard berth. Carr was already decent in 2019 with Darren Waller, Tyrell Williams, and Josh Jacobs, but now he's got Ruggs, Bowden, and Edwards to complement the rest of that core. So this first year of Vegas football won't be boring, that's for sure. Number 5 on the decline, Tennessee Titans. The Titans in their own way have been a model of consistency with 4 straight 9-win seasons. Though they're capable of winning double-digit games in 2020, at least some form of regression is inevitable. Yes, Ryan Tannehill has a wonderful comeback story. The average fan had to love the Cinderella run they put together, with giant road upsets against the defending champion New England Patriots and top-seeded Baltimore Ravens. But Tannehill isn't going to complete 70.3% of his passes, nor average 13.6 yards per completion again. For his career, Tannehill has an 89.8 quarterback rating. You really think he'll get anywhere close to the 117.5 rating he posted for the Titans last season? Also, losing valuable offensive tackle Jack Conklin and vastly underrated cornerback Logan Ryan in free agency hurt big time. And as unstoppable as Derrick Henry was in 2019, asking him to carry a similar load and put together another ridiculous MVP caliber season may be too much. We've seen running backs struggle to stay healthy after carrying the ball over 300 times in a season. If you include the playoffs, Henry was well past that mark last year, with a total of 386 rushing attempts. So the Titans could very well make the postseason again, but they won't be getting back to the AFC title game. Tannehill is due for a big-time regression, and likely Henry as well. Number 4 improved, Denver Broncos. The Raiders got good, but to us, the Broncos got very good. This team has been so incredibly frustrating since its Super Bowl 50 championship season. But if 2019 was an indicator of anything, it's that the Broncos finally have a franchise quarterback to build around in Drew Lock. The rookie signal caller performed well with Cortland Sutton, Noah Fant, and Phillip Lindsay. Then, John Elway added veteran running back Melvin Gordon and receiving studs Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler in the draft. So there is no shortage of offensive weapons for Lock now. Also, the league's 10th best scoring defense from a year ago added Pro Bowlers Gerald Casey and AJ Bouye, as if Von Miller, a now healthy Bradley Chubb, and 2019 breakout star Justin Simmons weren't troublesome enough for opposing offenses. These Broncos won 7 games in what was essentially a rebuilding year. 5 of their losses were by 8 points or less, 3 of them were by 2 points. A few more bounces and these guys would have been in the postseason. With a rebuilt roster on both sides of the ball and more bounces certain to go their way this time, the Broncos should be able to win at least 9 games. And I'd say they're probably more than capable of snatching one of the 3 wildcard spots in the AFC this year. Number 4 on the decline, Green Bay Packers. Here's the thing, the Packers are still the team to beat in the NFC North. We would downright be shocked if they missed the postseason. But will this team win 13 games again and reach the 2020 NFC Championship game? To us, the answer is simple. Absolutely not. Aaron Rodgers just never really found his full groove under head coach Matt LaFleur. The offense is so limited with Devontae Adams as the lone reliable pass catcher, and as nasty as the defense was in 2019, regression is simply inevitable. They lost workhorse linebacker Blake Martinez to the New York Giants at free agency and didn't find any suitable replacements. Green Bay also has to play the brutally scary NFC South and the much improved AFC South in 2020, as well as the San Francisco 49ers and feisty Philadelphia Eagles. Losing respected offensive tackle Brian Bulaga in free agency also hurt. Drafting Jordan Love in round 1 does nothing to help them win now, and Devin Fuchez isn't exactly the number 2 receiver that Rodgers was hoping to get. We can guarantee you that. Plain and simple, the Packers will have a much tougher time reaching the postseason in 2020. While other NFC contenders got better, Rodgers' squad just got notably worse. Number 3 improved. Indianapolis Colts. Losing Andrew Luck to retirement predictably led to a down year for the Colts in 2019. But GM Chris Ballard didn't want to waste another year with a supremely talented roster, so he put his team back in win-now mode immediately. The Colts signed former Los Angeles Charger quarterback Phillip Rivers to a very low-risk 1-year deal, while drafting hopeful successor Jacob Eason in round 4. Rivers should be able to enjoy a bounce-back year with one of the league's elite offensive lines in front of him. Reuniting with former Chargers QB coach and offensive coordinator Frank Reich will help quite a bit as well. That Indy defense was already pretty good in 2019, but they added San Francisco 49ers stud pass rusher DeForest Buckner in a blockbuster trade, and taking a chance on former Minnesota Vikings Pro Bowl corner Xavier Rhodes carries more reward than risk. Then there's rookie Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman Jr., who should complement T.Y. Hilton and Marlon Mack nicely. Look, add it all up, and the Colts look like the team to beat in the AFC South. And they certainly look capable of vying for a Super Bowl in a conference that no longer has Tom Brady. Number 3 on the decline, Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings semi-lived up to expectations in 2019, upsetting the New Orleans Saints in the wildcard round before bowing out to the 49ers. But you can expect a very noticeable regression here in 2020. For one, when is Kirk Cousins ever consistent? Coming off perhaps his best season yet, you can expect a decline, especially with savvy offensive coordinator Kevin Stefanski leaving for the Cleveland Browns head coaching role. And as much as we loved the Justin Jefferson pick, he's unlikely to fully replace Stephon Diggs' production right away. We're gonna have to give him a year or two. The Vikings' stout defense, which finished 5th in scoring last year, lost 4 starters on defense, including Xavier Rhodes, Trey Wayans, Linval Joseph, and Everson Griffin. So Cousins has to try and repeat last year's success without a star receiver and his brilliant offensive coordinator. And the defense has to stay afloat without 4 of their 2019 regulars. So yeah, I don't know about you, but I don't see a playoff team here. Number 2 improved. Dallas Cowboys. Simply moving on from Jason Garrett was all Jerry Jones really had to do in order to improve his team. Garrett's a nice guy and all, but how does Mr. 8-8 last a decade on the job? The Mike McCarthy hiring drew mixed reactions, but last time we checked, he's a Super Bowl winning coach who had tremendous success with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, 4 NFC Championship game appearances in Green Bay, and, well, Garrett? He only had 2 postseason wins during his entire tenure in Dallas. So, yeah, McCarthy seems like a huge upgrade over Garrett. Then there's the stacked Dallas roster, which got even better in the offseason. Jones signed on Terry Poe and Gerald McCoy to round out an excellent front 7 that already boasted Leighton Vander Esch, Jalen Smith, and DeMarcus Lawrence. And finally, Jones hit the jackpot by taking CeeDee Lamb with the number 17 pick. There is no way Dak Prescott can fall short again, with Lamb, Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper, and Ezekiel Elliott at his disposal. That's 4 big-time offensive weapons and arguably the league's best running back. And did we mention the Cowboys ditched Garrett in favor of a Super Bowl winning head coach? Yeah, the Cowboys, dare we say, already look like a championship contender. They look poised to make the postseason again in 2020, and don't be shocked if Prescott and co go on a deep run this time. Number 2 on the decline, Houston Texans. How much more can Deshaun Watson carry one of the league's most flawed teams? Well, we're about to find out, but my guess is not much longer. Watson has massed a team that consists of an to okay running game, a horrible offensive line, and a bottom 10 defense in football. And yet, Bill O'Brien found a way to make his own team worse. O'Brien traded away DeAndre Hopkins in an offseason stunner to the Arizona Cardinals, with injury-prone running back David Johnson coming over to Houston. The Texans Texans also gutted their draft capital in the Laramie Tunsil and Brandon Cooks deals. Instead of spending money to upgrade a woeful O-line and awful secondary, O'Brien overpaid for veteran wideout Randall Cobb while re-signing inconsistent veteran corner Bradley Roby. Okay, so on paper, Cobb, Cooks, Kenny Stills, David Johnson, and Will Fuller look like a great set of weapons for Watson. But most of them come with some serious injury concerns, and Watson can only do so much with limited pass protection. We've also seen this Houston defense fall apart miserably without the oft-injured JJ Watt, so how O'Brien ignored the need for defensive upgrades is beyond us. Oh, and the AFC South consists of the AFC runner-up Titans and the vastly improved Colts. Right now, the Texans look like the third best team in their own division. That is not a good thing. And a wild card spot in a loaded AFC is by no means a guarantee for the squad. Number 1 improved, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, newsflash, whoever signed Tom Brady was going to automatically appear on this list. I mean, how do you add the GOAT and not improve? Oh, but Tom Brady wasn't the only GOAT that the Bucs got away with. 1 month after winning the TB12 sweepstakes, the Bucs traded for Brady's best buddy, Rob Gronkowski, who decided to end a 1-year retirement. And so, the brilliant Bruce Arians has the Brady instead of 30-30 man Jameis Winston. And he now has Gronk to go along with Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, OJ Howard, and Cameron Brate. Adding offensive tackle Tristan Wirfs will only help Brady as he tries to shrug off Father Time again in 2020. Finally, the defense can expect vast improvement now that the quarterback won't be throwing 30 interceptions again. This group had the best rushing defense last season, and improvement is inevitable with Brady and the offense set to significantly reduce their number of turnovers. The Bucs may not be a primary Super Bowl contender, but this team is poised to win double-digit games while earning their first playoff berth since the 2007 season. And with 5 primetime games on the schedule, Tampa Bay football is officially relevant again. Rejoice, Buccaneer fans! Your time has finally come. Number 1 on the decline, New England Patriots. We're having such a difficult time betting against Bill Belichick, aka the greatest head coach of all time. But it's really hard to see how these Patriots will stay in championship contention without the 20-year face of the franchise. So even if Jarrett Stidham exceeds expectations, who is he going to throw to outside of Julian Edelman? Brady couldn't do much of anything with this set of receivers in 2019, but somehow this second-year signal caller is supposed to find a way to make it work? How about we pump the brakes on those expectations? Secondly, the league's top-scoring defense from a year ago is due for a setback. After an embarrassingly easy first half schedule, the Pats' D regressed as the games got tougher. Well, it won't be the same story again in 2020, as they happen to have the league's toughest schedule. Their opponents combined for a .537 winning percentage in 2019, so that's kind of a yikes. The defense lost versatile linebacker Kyle Van Noy, a playmaking safety and so-called closer Duran Harmon, and the athletic Jamie Collins. And Belichick's draft didn't impress anybody either. Not really sure any of these 2020 picks will become immediate starters or contributors. Belichick seems keen on rebuilding, which is fine, but the Pats can no longer be considered in the class of AFC elite. They are way behind the Kansas City Chiefs and Baltimore Ravens at the moment. Not only that, but the Buffalo Bills look like the team to beat in the AFC East, following the Stephon Diggs trade acquisition. And the Miami Dolphins won't be a laughingstock with Tua Tagovailoa, Van Noy, Jordan Howard, and Pro Bowl corner Byron Jones in the fold. Again, it is never a good idea to doubt Bill Belichick. But I'm gonna go ahead and do just that by predicting the Patriots' playoff streak ends in 2020. But hey, that's just our predictions. What other NFL teams do you think will improve or decline in 2020? You can go ahead and join us in the comment section below. If you liked this video though and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button actually helps us out a ton, and we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.